Well, hello everybody, welcome to Robert's train set. What have we here? It very much looks like my fridge in my kitchen downstairs. So why are we here? As you can imagine, this is being filmed over the weekend and the beginning of the week of the very hot temperatures that we had. Sort of in the middle of July, wasn't it? And we were expecting 40-degree temperatures. I have experienced 40-degree temperatures in Australia when I was there, but I've never experienced here, and I'm not looking forward to it. So as you can imagine, the loft is out of bounds. Yeah, so I pop up there for a couple of minutes to do this, but that's about it. And I just wanted to do something, and I was thinking, and what I'll do now is I'll open the fridge and we'll have a look what's inside it. So as you can see, the normal things that you have in the fridge, I've got my beers there, and I've got one of my puddings ready, and my tagliatelle bolognese sauce, which I had yesterday and I'm going to have again on Monday. And yeah, great. I've got milk, lots of milk. I drink a lot of milk. But if I go right down to the bottom, what have we got here? Your eyes do not deceive you. It's railway track, along with a thermometer. What's that here for? Let's have a closer look. As you might make out, we've got a Hornby single straight and a Hornby double straight, which I've actually taken off the patio railway. And by it is a thermometer. And if we can get it to read, you might see that it's just a fraction above 0 degrees. So in the thumbnail I said trains running, didn't I, with exclamation mark. Well, this is it. I've just dipped into some of my recent videos and just taken little bits of trains running. So I hope you like this. Let me know. So for this experiment I also need some other equipment. So on the dining room table where the train set used to be, I have a metre steel rule and a 12-inch steel rule. So what are we going to do with these? Let's put it all together and have a look. So what am I going to bring in here now? I'm going to bring the Hornby single straight. I'm going to put the ruler against it and measure it, and I read that as, and it needs to be fairly accurate, I would say that is 167.5 mil. I hope you agree with me. I don't know if you can see it, but that's what I think it is. So now I'm going to bring in, as you can imagine, the double straight, Hornby double straight, and I'm going to use this particular instance, the metre ruler, line it up at the end and read it off. And reading that, it's 334.5, I make that. So I've taken the two rulers and I've hung them in my understairs cupboard, which is where I took them from to do these measurements. So I'm going to leave them there so that hopefully they will be the same as they are today when I measure again. Why am I doing this? I had the thought that with this weather that is going to be so hot, my loft should get absolutely stifling, completely uninhabitable, I would think. And I thought by taking these, putting these in the fridge overnight, which is what you've just seen me measure them from, if I take them up in the loft and leave them for the next 2 days, or even 3, which are supposed to be the hottest days, and then measure them again and see if we can actually measure how much these expand. Because obviously we do have trouble with expansion on our model railways, or in my case a train set. But has anybody ever measured, you know, how an individual rail will perform in heat? So these are going to go from round about 0 degrees up to whatever the loft gets up to, and it's got to get up probably, if the sun's out all the time, it's got to get up to probably 100 degrees up there. So will we be able to measure any difference in the length? I'm not expecting a lot. In fact, it's quite possible it won't be measurable. It's the accumulation of all the rails just expanding a little bit, but it would be interesting to see what happens, won't it? So I'm now going to take these up in the loft and leave them up there for a couple of days at least. All right, we'll see what happens. Okay, so for me it's 2 days wait. For you, probably a couple of seconds. So see you in a minute. Bye. So this is now on the Tuesday, and it was meant to be the hottest day of the year, and we did experience 40 degrees in other places, and as you can see it didn't quite get that here. So this is the outside of my garden as it was. Now this is, I was trying to keep cool, that's what we were told to do, so these are my nets with the breeze blowing in, and it was absolutely lovely. Really kept me cool, so I really enjoyed that. Watched a bit of Tour de France, which is on, and yeah, this was quite nice. And yes, I did go in the garden from time to time, in the shade. So this is a bit of film, I think, that you haven't seen. So I thought I'd give this an airing. So here we are in the loft finally, and as you can see from the thermometer, it's well, just on 40 degrees or 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is where I left the rails. I put them on the baseboard so that they were getting the same effect as the rails that fitted down. And we measured it, and I don't think that's moved a jot. That looks exactly the same as it did before. So the double straight couldn't fit over the other side, so I put it in the platform areas, and as you can see, exactly the same as the single. And yeah, we measured that. Now I think this one has slightly got a bit more. I think I said it was 334.5, and as you can see, that's just, you know, that has moved a little bit, perhaps. So the heat it seems to have just curled these a bit, and I'm pretty sure they were fairly straight when I did them, or reasonably straight. So I think it's just curled it a bit, but hopefully it'll pull out. But it doesn't matter, it's in the side in there, isn't it? And the only other bit I had, you see where the bit of foliage is on the concrete, it had bowed up there. It was still solid at one end and the other end, but it had bowed there. I tried to glue it back down, but it wouldn't go, so I got a drawing pin under there. It made it difficult to put the locos on the programming track. So, the conclusions? Well, the double straight did seem to move a little bit. It's very unscientific, you can imagine, but the small one didn't. So there's many variables. The rulers might have even expanded a bit. You don't know. They're still subject to the heat, weren't they? And yeah, I'm just obviously with individual rails it's difficult, but it's collectively, isn't it? And you only need, you know, quite a few to expand, and that's when you get the problems. So bit unscientific, as I've said, but I thought it was worth doing. So I hope you've enjoyed it. So I thought, just to finish, I'll show the Cura Scale Class 55 Deltic that I recently acquired, and this was it when I was just trying it the first thing, and it ran very well. A few problems that you will see if you watch the video on it, but yeah, I enjoyed it, so not bad at all. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and like if you want to. Thank you.